Recently, I was able to witness the fights of three great warriors. His powers were completely absurd. I had never seen anything like it.
What it do? It's your boy, Dragon Ball Art 92, and I'm back with another Kamehameha of a video. And over here at Dragon Ball Art 92, we do reaction videos, Dragon Ball everything reaction videos. And today we got a good one for you guys today. We're going to be going over a video that I kind of found in the community. And it's an old video, but it's called Dragon Ball Z, the ultimate filler review. So basically, we're going to be going over a review of the fillers throughout the Dragon Ball series. But before we get to the content today, you guys, make sure you hit the like button to trigger YouTube algorithm. And if you're new over here at Dragon Ball Art 92, we welcome you. And if you want to be a part of the family, make sure you hit the subscribe button and click that notification bell so that way you can be informed every time I upload a video. So I want to do a little discussion real quick before we get into the content. So Dragon Ball Daima is coming to a close soon. The last few episodes should be appearing in the next few weeks. I plan on doing a review of Dragon Ball Daima after the series is completed, because what I want to do is binge watch the series and then give my opinion from there. Because I think that watching the episodes weekly, which I still do, it kind of takes away from maybe what the writers were trying to get across, because some of the episodes are kind of boring. And we're going to talk about filler episodes today too. But some of the episodes were kind of boring. And then some of the episodes are pretty good. But one thing that I'm happy about is that we have some type of Dragon Ball anime, because we haven't had Dragon Ball anime in a long time. You dig? Also, I'm going to start doing reaction videos to Unreal and Gaming's channel. Of course, I already been doing that. But I ran across the series that he created called The Top 5 Strongest. And I watched the whole, I think he has a 26-hour video, bro, up there. And the series was amazing, bro. So I want to do a reaction video to that series. He also has it in episodes. So, you know, obviously we go episode by episode, so that way we can get a full understanding. But it's amazing, bro. So that's what I'm going to start doing too here on the channel. I'm also going to keep going with my Ultra Vegito reactions. It's been getting a lot of love. I just want to say thank you to the Dragon Ball Art family for supporting me, coming through, checking out the videos. It is greatly appreciated. Also, if you have any suggestions of any videos you would like me to react to, go ahead and send me an email at dtdon'ttouch@icloud.com. And what I would do is I'll shout you out for sure. And I definitely will do a reaction video to what you guys actually want to hear, discuss, or talk about. Okay. Today I'm also doing some artwork today. I'm trying to draw one of the Dragon Ball Z panels. And I love doing artwork, man. It's pretty fun. You know, it takes your mind to a place to where it's nothing but peace, man. So, you know, that's a passion that I have, pretty much doing artwork. But with all that being said, you guys, we're going to go ahead and get started with the content today. Let's go.
As we found out last week, Dragon Ball's filler is a magical experience that drags you from the depths of predictable tedium to the most preposterously ambitious. And sometimes we even get some good stuff thrown in there too. Last week I was tasked with watching over 8 hours of classic Dragon Ball's filler material. It was tough. However, I did mention that Dragon Ball Z's filler was much longer. How much longer, you ask?
Oh, also, I want to give a shout out to the creator of this video. His channel is named Totally Not Mark. Shout out to you for the content. I appreciate it, bro, because I love breakdowns on different Dragon Ball aspects. All right, let's get back to the content.
1 hour, 2 hours, maybe
15 hours.
Unlike the stuff I got to watch last week, I've actually seen all of this already, I think, though not in roughly 20 years. So this will be as much a surprise for you guys as it will be for me, no doubt. So strap in for some garlic, some bad driving lessons, and some Snake Way shenanigans, because today we're finishing the filler of Dragon Ball in style.
I always love that Dragon Ball music, bro. It's super dope. It like puts me in a place that's out of this world. I don't know if I'm the only one that feel like that, bro. But
if you didn't watch my last video, you should, you monster, but also let me remind you what we're considering filler in this video. For the sake of my sanity and time, we will not be covering drawn-out extensions in canon episodes. So no lengthy stare-downs or Bulma chasing a frog around while Goku punches Frieza. We're looking for proper standalone episodes and mini-arcs, and with that I'll be looking to see whether said filler arcs and episodes will do one of two things. Number one, will they implement their own creativity without getting in the way of the canon story? Or number two, will they avoid conflict with the main story so much so that they just end up being criminally boring?
There's a little gray area in there, and that's where you operate.
Granted, this is an almost impossible balancing act to pull off effectively, but hey, we got some diamonds last week, and like I said that time, I'm expecting most of this to be utter dog shit, iffy at best. So if we can come away from this video with 1 or 2 gems, then I'll consider it a roaring success.
Let's do this!
Preparing for the Saiyans.
Being robot.
before we get into it, bro, I mean, fillers are a necessary evil for Dragon Ball, man. Like, fillers make the story progress, but sometimes, bro, they be boring as shit, bro. Like, real talk. I mean, but everybody has a different opinion, because, you know, when you're getting deep into a storyline, you want to know the whole story, and sometimes parts of different stories are boring because it's the simple things that actually lead to the big things, you know. But in my opinion, fillers are definitely needed. I have a 50-50 feeling about a lot of the Dragon Ball fillers. Some are cool, some are not, you know, but we go see what he talking about.
But I will never die, and I will never be able to experience the sweet release of death. The world is a lie. Existence is a lie. There is only pain and darkness beyond this point.
These were the first pieces of filler I ever engaged with in my life. At the annoying age of 9 years old, I saw this collection of episodes for the very first time, and outside of the Snake Way stuff with Goku, I honestly had little interest. So you might be shocked to find out that upon revisit, I actually enjoyed myself quite a bit more than I thought I would with this material. With 9 episodes to explore, this filler arc places a microscope over the very training that was skipped over with the likes of Gohan, the Gang of the Lookout, the journey Goku undertakes on his way to Kinkai's, and the Saiyans even get their own crappy little segment. Can you guess which one of those 4 stories I didn't like? It certainly has its ups and downs, but what this material offered Gohan I thought was quite great.
The Saiyan Saga has some good fillers to me, which all made sense because it all led up to the big fight between Nappa, Vegeta, and the Z Fighters. So, you know, that whole series to me was pretty decent, you know what I mean, including the fillers, you know, in my opinion.
To all things considered, with plenty of subtle writing, symbolism, and lessons for the young man to contend with as he tries to survive in the wilds of Earth, grappling with monsters, hunger, and his...
Hey, Lil Gohan was doing this thing, though, bro. I just wanted to say that, though, throughout that series, when Piccolo dropped him off to where he can survive on his own for the 6 months, he did his thing, bro. You know, most people would have folded under those type of conditions. But, you know, of course, being that Gohan is a Saiyan from a different planet, well, he's from Earth because he's half Saiyan, half human. But he still has Saiyan genes, and those genes allow the beings to survive hard conditions. You know, they actually get stronger in those type of conditions. But with the mind state that Gohan had going into the whole thing, you know, he was forced. And for him to do good like he did, surviving, was pretty incredible to me.
Growing sense of moral obligation, let's take a look at Gohan's training.
Hey there, have you heard about my robot friend? He's metal and small and doesn't judge me at all. He's a cyberwire bundle of joy, my robot friend.
Towards the beginning of my obnoxiously long review of Dragon Ball Z Saiyan Saga, I noted that it appeared clear Toriyama didn't want fans to consider Gohan anything other than Goku's opposite. Fearful, polite beyond his years, and generally helpless. He demonstrated all the attributes his father never exhibited. In the manga, the first steps away from this approach are dealt with through off-screen training and hardship to bring him up to par with the rest of the gang. This is of course to create a sense that Gohan is now ready, and while that works remarkably well in the manga, I think a lot of the material added to Gohan's story here offers a wonderfully natural and emotional progression for us to follow as an alternative. A coming-of-age story with a beginning. Episode 9 kicks things off as we see Gohan accidentally fall into a cavern where he discovers an old robot. What's wonderful about this episode to me is its measured and subtle dialogue. Written by Katsuyuki Sumisawa, a name to keep in mind going forward, he establishes the pattern by which Gohan reluctantly but consistently marches down henceforth. Activating the robot out of fear, Gohan cries out for safety, food, emotional support, and answers to all of his problems long before thinking to ask the robot about himself.
Think about it, bro. At that point, Gohan was just trying to figure out how to survive. He didn't have his dad in his life not that long. He was, but not that long. He was a little kid. I believe he was like 5, 6 at this point in time. So he was just looking for some emotional support. You know, the little kid didn't know what was going on. And I remember that episode because he tried his best to save his friend. He made the robot his friend. The robot kept trying to get him to get the hell out of there or get away, but Gohan didn't listen, bro, because he wanted somebody there with him through that little struggle, bro. He did not want to be alone. I remember that, but it was a pretty good little filler.
This is terrific characterization and paints Gohan as a total self-obsessed crybaby, as all small children mostly are. It's a wonderful starting point from which to measure his progression against, not just in this episode, but the rest of this mini-arc. When the robot responds, Gohan develops a fondness for it. Having not left the cavern out of fear before, what keeps him there now is his desire to find a solution that allows his new robot friend to get out of there with him. Tragically, the room they reside within starts to fall apart, and with the roof crashing down around them, in order to save Gohan's life, the robot is forced to throw him out the only gap to safety against his will. All the young boy can do then is watch as his friend fades from the world. Gohan is left crying and alone to feel sorry for himself once again. It's a remarkably somber scene, one that is capped off by Gohan smiling through his tears, knowing that he couldn't save his friend or himself. Episode 10 builds off of these established foundations. This time we're not greeted by a crying child, an apprehensive and skittish
At this point, Gohan was really growing up. And you've seen it in his actions. You've seen it in the way he was looking for food. You've seen it in the way that his character was progressing. I agree with the creator of this video, because Gohan went from one transition to another, which just basically symbolized how life really goes. That's what makes the series so great, because it's relatable on so many aspects.
child, sure, but nowhere near the catastrophe of cribbing we endured in episodes prior. And symbolically, this episode is a juggernaut. It's established early on that Gohan is applying lessons his father taught him in order to survive in the wild. The through line of this episode is this medicinal patch he fixes for both himself and his injured dinosaur friend that he discovers later on. Gohan even echoes his father's own words to this dinosaur. It's a cute dialogue callback, but it also pulls double duty, insinuating that Gohan is trying and in some way succeeding in being more like his father. And while he's still faking it until he makes it, he's clearly making progress here. And there's tons of visual symbolism all over this episode to reinforce that point. Gohan is seen jumping from branch to branch, like Goku, dealing with animals he otherwise would never have meddled with before, like Goku does, catching fish, jumping from great...
And reality, we all are like this, to where we have characteristics of our parents, but we do it in our own way because we have our own characteristics that we build through time, through experience of living. And basically that's what Gohan is doing at this moment. He's showing the characteristics that he picked up from his parents, also developing his own characteristics as the season progressed.
Heights, or even demonstrating great strength on purpose. Where the first few chapters of Dragon Ball Z's manga demonstrated how different Gohan was, this episode shows us that he might be more like his father than we thought and even he thought. That is only for our expectations to then be subverted once again at this episode's closing. Unable to protect his friend from the dangers of this world, he wakes up to find nothing left of him. Once again, Gohan is forced to contend with the cruelty of this world and how important it is for him to have the strength to protect those he cares for. He walks off once again towards his future alone. But what makes this segment, this training arc that he undergoes, so compelling to me is that throughout the material I've discussed, Gohan's goal has remained the same. It hasn't been to train or toughen himself up. That's been Piccolo's goal for him. For Gohan, it has been instead to make his own way back to his mother, to reject this training, to go back to safety and away from the dangers of this world. The final part of Gohan's filler material concerns this confrontation he has with the current desires he has. And truthfully, the way they went about it, I very much appreciated. Discovered by a commune of orphans in a deserted town, Gohan is taken in and alongside this crew looks out for each other while performing dishonest acts in order to feed themselves. The group is led by an older kid, Piegero, I don't know. And while it's revealed that Gohan wishes to go home, Piegero offers for them all to join Gohan on his journey back to Mount Paozu in a car.
Basically, they were creating a little gang and surviving like that. You know, kids, though. It's crazy, though, how a bunch of kids was just living on their own. You know, survival of the fittest. Shows you that, you know, anybody can survive in any situation. You can adapt, especially if you use your brain and you think. You can actually create a way to survive no matter what situation that you're in, you know. So it also shows you to always keep pushing, because Gohan, that's true. What the creator of the video is saying is very true. Gohan's mission was to get back home to his mom, because in all actuality, Piccolo just took him. You feel me? It wasn't a choice at all because of the situation that they were in, which is totally understandable. But through him trying, and that was his goal and motivation, he grew so much in that time. It shows you that, you know, just going through certain situations will build certain characteristics no matter what the motivation behind it is, you know. So that's some deep stuff, man. Let's get back to the video.
A car they will steal. Through doing so, they all get captured by this universe's version of Child Protective Services before Gohan and Piegero make their escape. Gohan, confused and rather upset at this suspected betrayal, can't understand why he would do such a thing to his friends and family. In response to this,
we're not gonna let that pass. How that kid just punched Gohan like that and he just fell. That Gohan was faking it. He had to be faking it, bro. That punch couldn't have hurt, bro. But he did punch the shit out of Gohan. Like, blow, little nigga. Let's get back to it.
Piegero says that they are already getting into too much trouble with him, that they are still young and can make something of themselves this way. And with that tearful send-off, Gohan is sent to run home. Now mere yards away from his house, he stops himself, looks at his mom through the window, and runs back. I love this conclusion because it's a valuable lesson for Gohan to learn, that sometimes people are placed in circumstances they don't understand or enjoy, but in the long run, it's for the best. And now running away from his home, the place he's wanted to go since the very beginning of this.
What's crazy about that is that, you know, I experienced something similar in life, to where, you know, I was put in a certain situation that was like unpredictable, where you just didn't know what the outcome was going to be, and I had to tough it out. You know, sometimes you just got to tough things out to figure out which path you should be taking, you know. And that scene right there shows how Gohan was strong, and he began to understand something at that point in time in life. He understood that this growth that he was undertaking was important, and who knows what else was going on through his head. But for him to go back to the training and be more ready to train then shows growth in a lot of ways, man. Let's get back to it.
the filler material, he thinks back to the robot, the dinosaur, the kids, all the people he couldn't help, and the people he was too weak or weak-minded to protect or understand. It's at this moment Piccolo confronts him, asking him one question: what is your mission? Gohan responds with absolute certainty: to defeat the Saiyans and save the Earth. What an incredible story. I cannot say the same for the next one, though. The Saiyans. While I had a lot of praise for the decisions made around Gohan's filler material, I can't say I have similar sentiments to share for Vegeta's and Nappa's brief escapades on planet Arlia. Simply because...
Bro, that little story right there when Vegeta and them stopped on that planet was so hilarious. They was just relentless, bro. You know, like straight evil, bro. Vegeta tried to play the cool guy role throughout that. You feel me? Nappa was trying to play the nice role too. You dig? But they was just so relentless through that, bro. How they just destroyed that planet, bro, for no apparent reason. Act like they was gonna come save the day, save the. I'm not even. Y'all already know how the story go. Let's get back to it.
It doesn't elevate the canon material in my book. In fact, I would argue it actually gets in the way of it, making it worse. Where Gohan's story walked us along a compelling tale of a young man searching for the courage and confidence to keep fighting, the Saiyans' time spent on this alien world only serves to spoil what was going to be their introduction on Earth. To refresh your memories, when they arrive on Earth in the manga, we are stunned by the scope of their power and cruelty right off the bat. Nappa through his annihilation of an entire city, and Vegeta through his intelligence and his ruthlessly cold-hearted approach with the Cybermen. These are compelling moments of character revelation, and they work because we value this planet and we value who they are fighting against. But on Arlia, we have no idea who these characters are, nor are we really given much of a reason to care. The world is already a wasteland and in ruin, with the limited life there acting as hostiles or captives by the ruling body. The elements of
a planet of bugs. It was a bug planet. That's basically what it was. It was. And if you ever seen Dragon Ball Z Ambridge, bro, they're hilarious, bro, with this episode, bro. Like, I swear, bro. Man, if y'all get a chance, check that out, bro. Let's get back to it.
Of their character I spoke on from the manga are all used here, almost in the exact same way for Vegeta and Nappa, but it's worse. The best aspect of this Saiyan subplot is that it's mercifully short, not even a full episode in length, but even with that, it elevates nothing and in some ways makes what happens later less effective in my book by spoiling what the Saiyans ultimately do. The Earth's forces. Another element these filler episodes facilitated, which I think enriches the canon experience during the Saiyan invasion, has to be this added exposure we get to the secondary characters. Getting to see what Yamcha's been up to with baseball, with Bulma and how he's jonesing for a fight again. Seeing Tenshinhan doing his thing with Chaozu and running into launch once again. All of these added scenes offer a sense that not only are these people valiant and ready to fight.
I wonder why they took Launch out of the series, bro. She was actually a pretty decent character, bro. You know what I mean? They could have turned Launch into Tien's wife or something, bro. You know, like how Goku got Chi-Chi and Vegeta got Bulma. You know what I'm saying? Even Gohan got Videl, you know. Even Krillin got 18, you know. So, but, you know, it is what it is. But it's interesting how they just totally forgot about the character from my eyes. I haven't seen her in a while, but, you know, this filler right here was dope to me because it's the same filler where the Z fighters had to train, and Mr. Popo took them into that room where they actually went back in the past to fight some Saiyans, and they was getting their ass whooped, bro. Them episodes were vicious, bro. I loved them.
For Earth, but additionally emphasizes what they will ultimately be leaving behind. Their friends and their loved ones when they meet their eventual inevitable end during the Saiyan invasion. It's a nice place to root their characters before the canon material continues onward. Furthermore, the training we see these folks undergo is fun, if not a little on the strange side. From the outset, it's clear that while they claim that this is the same room Goku used, if you've seen the Room of Time before, it's clearly not the same room he used, unless they did some major remodeling since Goku's heavenly training alongside Mr. Popo. That said, I love the lookout so much that I'll just about take anything I can from it. Although brief, I'm very much a fan of what this added exposure offered. It bonds us a little more.
Another thing, too, how the lookout was straight, had a lot of mysteries in there, bro. Like a lot of things that you can do from the lookout they can also expand in that, bro. Like, besides the Room of Spirit and Time and also this right here, bro, they can actually do some stuff with that if they decided to, bro. Interesting, bro.
More to the characters before, they bite the dust later. I think I'm ready to give my score in this training arc for the Saiyans, but we've got one stop left. Goku and Snake Way. Since I was a little kid watching this show for the very first time, Goku's adventures in Snake Way, much like the other prominent favorites in Dragon Ball's filler library, has remained a personal favorite of mine. And although I haven't looked at much of it in almost 2 decades, returning it today only reminded me of how much
I don't really agree with him on this one, bro, because Snake Way to me was kind of boring, bro. I wasn't really feeling the whole meeting the snake lady, eating food, running from a snake type of deal. I just kind of thought that was real silly. You know what I mean? But, it played its part, him getting to King Kai, but him falling off and actually getting to hell and happened to get out of hell just to start over on Snake Way. That was pretty interesting because it put a setback on his time, and Goku had to actually achieve his goals in a shorter amount of time before the Saiyans hit the planet. And it all played a part in how everything transpired in the end. So that part was pretty good.
actually loved it. For me, my favorite experiences with Goku come about through his engagement with other characters. And for those like myself who hadn't seen Dragon Ball as a kid, it's easy to see how Goku started to feel like a character that would disappear for a long time, interspersed with brief stints of activity. Z starts and immediately he's dead. He runs alone on Snake Way. He travels to Namek alone. He spends ages in the rejuvenation tank alone. And once he defeats Frieza, he again disappears. And so when I look at things through that lens, I think it's easy to see why I loved Snake Way. It's not that it offers Goku any meaningful story advantages like Gohan or the supporting cast received. Instead, it's just one of a few opportunities we get in early Dragon Ball Z to exist and have fun with this character. Plus, it's super fun. The idea that there's a street cleaner on Snake Way is a joke so good I had to mention it in my ultimate review of the series. Goku's falling off Snake Way and into hell only to escape and have to start.
Yeah, that part was quite interesting to me, how they got workers on Snake Way and at King Yama's spot. You feel me? It's quite interesting, man. And what it shows is that as above, so below. No matter if you pass or you're on the regular round, bro, things are pretty much similar. So, that was a quite interesting scene to me, and having that street cleaner on Snake Way was pretty funny. I can agree to that.
At the path all over again from Enma's desk was hilarious, and the entanglement he gets into with Princess Snake was beautifully animated with a fun fish out of water type feel. Otherworld is another one of those areas in Dragon Ball's mythos that I wish got a little bit more time spent on it, and this filler material gave me just that. I knew I was going to like the Snake Way stuff, but outside of the escapades with Nappa and Vegeta, I gotta say this filler arc was very strong. As filler goes, I think I have to give it an 8 out of 10. Super strong start from Dragon Ball Z. And the next arc is...
And I kind of agree there. I wouldn't give it an 8. I give it probably like a 7.5 in my opinion. So, but that's fillers for you. You feel me? Fillers are, just opinionated. I mean, it's it's based on your opinion, if you like that type of story or not, but they can be boring and they can be fun, but that's where I'm going to stop the video today, you guys. So I want to thank you guys sincerely for coming through and checking out the video, man. I really appreciate the time that you spend over here at Dragon Ball Art 92. We are working to grow. We're working to reach 1,000 subscribers. If you guys can hit the subscribe button and help your boy out, reach that goal. Once we reach 1,000 subscribers, we can start doing live videos and really chop it up, you guys. You feel me? We can all get to know each other. You feel me? And we can, work on building a community where we can review people's artwork, review people's videos, and have real discussions about it, if it's good or not. whatever it is, Dragon Ball everything over here. So thank you again for coming through and checking out the video. Make sure you check me out over there on Facebook under Black Ink, where I share artwork and other relatable Dragon Ball content. Also, you guys can check me out on TikTok under Dragon Ball Art 92. And with that being said, I hope you guys have a blessed day. Peace, power, and love. And remember, believe in yourself, because ain't nobody else go do it. Dragon Ball Art 92. I'm out. Peace.
Recently, I was able to witness the fights of 3 great warriors. His powers were completely absurd. I had never seen anything like it.